Hey everyone, welcome to your Friday, June 5th next stimulus payment update. Today is a huge day, major updates to give you guys. I have some reports from the Department of Labor and some video from the press conference that Donald Trump just had. I'm going to break everything down for you. It's major news about the U.S. economy, the job numbers, the stimulus payment, what Congress is going to do. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on all of it. As always, by the end of the episode, I will update this chart and let you know where the next stimulus payment stands and the timeline for receiving your next stimulus payment. But before we do that, let me just share with you the big news stories right now. So first off, Congress, Trump, and the PPP bill. Steve Scalise, I want to share something about him. And the big one is these job numbers. You just need to hear what's going on with that. So with Congress, Trump, and the PPP bill, they updated it and upgraded the PPP program, which is the Paycheck Protection Program. There was a lot of issues with it, but right now, today, actually during the press conference, Trump was pretty much like, I'm going to go sign this thing right now. They're going to sign it, and it's going to help a number of small businesses that could not get aid before. This is a really good thing. This next thing is Steve Scalise. He came out. Now, Steve Scalise is the minority whip in the House of Representatives. And so he's a Republican, but he came out and he said this, and I think this is important for information on the next stimulus. He said, we are still working on the $2 trillion that is already out there, meaning from the CARES Act. Much of that money still has not gotten out where it needs to go. Yes, they've primarily gotten most of the payments to the American people through with the $1,200 payment, but a lot of the other money is still floating out there. And he's saying we're still working on that. Some of the things you're hearing out there about bailing out failed states, that is not going to happen. That's interesting because I thought that there would be some movement on that. I still think there will be. I'm not entirely trusting Steve Scalise here, although he is the minority whip in the House of Representatives, so he is a top guy. However, I do think because of the issues that are going on right now, that the Senate will make some moves to hand out some additional funds to the states simply because they need it at this point. But he also said we need to focus right now on getting our economy better. Right now, we are seeing businesses come back. And so the focus is on the economy, opening up jobs, opening up businesses, and getting America back to normal. Not this idea of a new normal, but getting back to normal. And that brings us to the job numbers. I cannot understate how unbelievable this is. Economists on nearly every front have been taken back by the May job numbers, and I need to share them with you. Donald Trump just gave a press conference on this very issue, and I'm going to highlight a little bit of that press conference right now.
But this is outstanding what's happened today. Now, they thought the number would be a loss of 9 million jobs, and it was a gain of almost 3 million jobs. Nobody's ever seen anything. I think it was incredible in a couple of ways. Number one, the numbers are great, and this leads us on to a long period of growth. We'll go back to having the greatest economy anywhere in the world, nothing close. And I think we're going to have a very good upcoming few months. I think you're going to have a very good August, very good July, but a spectacular, maybe spectacular September, but a spectacular October, November, December, and next year is going to be one of the best years we've ever had economically.
So you could see it there. Donald Trump is touting those incredible job numbers that just came out. In the press conference, he also did talk about the United States being a very strong patient. And because we went through these difficult times, but we started out strong as we're reopening, our immune system as a country is kicking back into order. He also talked about how if the other side gets power, they're going to raise taxes. They're going to introduce disastrous bills like the Green New Deal, which is going to bog down and destroy all of the gains. He was also talking about the United States relationship with China and the difficulties as far as the Chinese allowing, at least the government allowing this pandemic to spread. But he did also sound a little optimistic on opening up negotiations and communication with better trade. China is buying a lot from the United States right now, so there was some optimism there. But the big deal is these job numbers. So let me just go ahead and break this down for you. This is from the U.S. Department of Labor, as reported by The Hill. In a surprise, the United States added 2.5 million jobs in May, and unemployment dropped to 13.3%. There was many people reporting that the unemployment rate might go up close to 20%. Matter of fact, I know you guys watch a lot of different YouTube channels, and one of the things we pride ourselves here is sharing with you the truth. And one of the things is we've updated the chart, this recurring payment. I even saw Logan Alec do a little video on this yesterday, and I thought it was really good. Good job, Logan Alec. If you don't watch him, check him out. He was talking about how there's individuals out there who keep telling you guys about the Congress is going to pass this $2,000 recurring thing, and it looks more and more likely. And on this channel, I've been doing nothing but telling you guys this is not going to happen. I've had it at a 1% chance, and today I'm actually lowering it because every indicator is showing that that is not going to happen. The economic indicators are showing it's not going to happen. The statements by our Congress people are showing it's not going to happen. But there are people out there on YouTube who are deceiving you and making you think something is going to happen when it's not. But there are YouTubers out there who are really good, who are reporting really factual information, and this goes apart with it. These job numbers are incredible. This is not going to lead to $1,000 to $2,000 recurring payments. I don't think this negates a possible $1,200 one-time payment. I think that can still happen, and I actually think that could be a benefit to what's going on here, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. The numbers shattered economists' expectations that there would be another steep rise in joblessness. The May jobs report showed one of the largest one-time spikes in hiring in U.S. history after the country lost 20.7 million jobs in April. That sent the unemployment rate plummeting to 14.7%. So the unemployment rate has now lowered. There's more jobs that are being reported. Economists widely expected that the U.S. would lose between 2 to 8 and some of them even 10 million jobs in May. But we actually gained 2.5 million jobs. And let me just tell you right now, these numbers are coming from mid-May. We're not even counting what's going on in June. So if you think these are good numbers, wait until the report comes out for June. Because I can tell you, I live in New York, and I live about 60 miles or so away from the city. We're in the epicenter of this whole deal, and we're just barely reopening now. The June report is going to probably outdo this report. So basically, we're seeing the United States engine flip on like crazy right now. And Congress people are looking at this. Construction employment has rebounded 464,000 jobs after losing 995,000 in April. The health care industry gained back 312,000 jobs. As the state began to allow doctors and dentists to resume non-emergency procedures, dental offices brought back 245,000 jobs. There's hiring waves at clothing stores, accessory stores, automobile dealers, general merchandise stores to help retailers gain 360,000 jobs. I mean, this is incredible. So what does this all mean? When we're looking at our chart, what does this all mean for the next stimulus payment? How am I perceiving this, and how do I think you guys should perceive this? Well, first off, this is good for the United States of America, but it is not wholly the indicator. Just like the stock market is almost back to where it was before. But the stock market in and of itself is not simply the indicator of the health of the average U.S. citizen. It's much more an indicator of speculation right now and the health of businesses and those who have money. Jobs reports is a little bit of a better indicator, but that's a better indicator for those businesses as well and individuals who are able to get back to work. So although these indicators and the savings indicator, Americans are saving more money right now. Americans are spending less money. Matter of fact, the April report showed that the income of the average American was higher than it was ever before. In addition, 4 out of 5 people are making more money on unemployment right now than they were at their jobs. So all of these things are indicators. One indicator in and of itself does not give you the full picture. And even all of these indicators combined still don't give you the full picture because there are people that are hurting and our economy still needs help. And people understand that. And so when you look at these indicators, what I'm trying to tell you is it means we're not going to get a 1,000 month to month or a 2,000 month to month recurring payment. It means that we're not going to get some crazy proposal that's going to go through. But it doesn't mean that there won't be some more targeted stimulus, which I have been telling you guys about on this channel for a long time. All right. Every once in a while, I see these comments, and guys, I'm not trying to have a pity party here, but I have people all the time tell you, well, you don't know. There could definitely be this. If you're looking for a channel that's going to just deliver you false and fake information because it sounds nice and makes you feel better, you found the wrong place. I am not going to do that. I am only going to share with you what I believe is the truth. I did that on the first stimulus when I told everyone the timelines and when to expect the payments, and it was largely correct. I did that with the payouts. I've been doing that now, and I'm going to continue to do that. So if you want to find yourself rummaging around different locations and listening to people who say things that sound nice, that are telling you that you're going to get $2,000 a month stimulus payments and the Senate is going to pass these things, do that. But then if you're like, you know what, let me just go back and get the general facts about what's probably most likely going to happen, then come back here or go to some of the other good YouTubers that are out there that are doing a really good job of it. Number 5, the recurring stimulus payment. That is at 0.5% now. It has dropped a half a percentage. You can't not drop it a half a percentage after looking at these job numbers. Just so you know, Donald Trump in his press conference, he did say this when talking about the stimulus: we could do more, and I think we should do more. So he's still saying that they should do more stimulus. The number 4 contender, no stimulus. I'm still going to keep that at 20% chance that there's going to be no new stimulus. I think there will be new stimulus. Now we have a new number 3 contender. It's this back to work stimulus. I have now dropped that to 25%. I don't think they're going to do it. On this channel, we've always told you it is too complicated. It won't work. Other places, professional places, are now reporting the same stuff we were reporting on this channel a week ago. They're starting to report within the last couple of days that it's too complicated, it won't work. And matter of fact, they're saying what they're going to do is just lower the amount received for unemployment, which is something we were talking about on this channel 2 weeks ago, about how on July 31st, they were going to stop the $600 boosting unemployment. And what did we say on this channel? And some other good YouTube channels out there said the same thing. And I congratulate them. There's some good places out there. They cannot just drop the $600 boost. They have to phase it out or lower it based off of certain standards, whatever they want to put in place, that it phases itself out. We said that 2 weeks ago, and people are picking up on that now in the last few days. People in Congress are finally picking up on that. Maybe they listen to these YouTube channels. I have no idea. Maybe they see what you guys are saying on this. I don't know. But this number 3 contender is down to 25%. So what's the new number 2 contender? The one-time $1,200 stimulus payment. Making the rounds back up. I'm not increasing the percentage, though. I still have it at 40% chance. I still think it's more unlikely to happen, but it's still a possibility. Why would I keep it so high? Because if you give the American people money, especially when the economy is opening up in the middle of summer, what will Americans do? We will spend that money, and it will help the economy. Usually when you spend $1, that dollar makes its way around the economy. I think it's like $1 equals $5 in velocity. And so you want to give Americans money. Now, Americans saved the last one that they got, the last $1,200. But now with things reopening, it'd be more likely that Americans would spend the next one. And I think that might help people in Congress say, you know what? Let's give them this money and let them spend it as we reopen. But I think the number 1 contender is still the targeted stimulus payment. This is the idea that they are going to pick specific areas, specific things. Like if you go on vacation, you're going to get a tax credit. Targeted stimulus. If you work in this job, you're going to get a stimulus payment. Targeted. If you're low income, targeted. Unemployment. So they're going to target certain sectors rather than giving out a mass lump sum. I still think that's the most likely contender right now. But number 1 and 2 are your ones that really have a shot. And the payout timeline has changed just slightly. I still think the Senate's going to take up the bill June 22nd or later into July sometime. The Senate's going to debate it from June 22nd into July. The Senate's going to vote probably sometime in July on this. I don't think the House is going to take this bill up until after their break. There was a possibility that they could have taken it up in early July. I do not think that's going to happen anymore. There are reports coming out about that. The House is going to probably take up this vote or the bill after July 20th, which means they're not going to vote on it until after July 24th, which means the president probably won't sign the bill until July 25th or later, which puts us on a timeline of seeing these new stimulus, whatever they do, pass in August or even maybe September at this point. So the timeline is shifting later and later, but that's a trend we have been showing you over time. I hope you guys appreciate the channel. I hope you appreciate the information. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. We would love to have you come along with us. As always, I will catch you next time.